chat room, salute to the defense force. Where we go one, we go all. Salute to Kevin Samuels, the saint himself. Hold the line. Where we go one, we go all. And tonight, we spread our wings and hold the line and push the line further ahead. I like the sound of my voice, but when I turn out words and listen to social media, I don't like what I hear. And the person that is up for the chopper ride tonight is the honest truth. A content creator of 2,370 subs who has made a killing on YouTube attacking the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels. How unfortunate. Before we address anything in this video, let's look at the track record of our target. And simply put, you can go all the way back to 1 year and see that the honest truth had his hand in gaming.
Come on, son.
Halo, reach at that.
Come on, son.
Let's play his first video to provide context to his dismantling.
Alright y'all, so this is me running Halo on my i3 1.9 gigahertz HD 3000 graphics card. Forgive the poor video quality, but I am playing online and I did want to show y'all, gosh dang it, that it is possible to play and actually have a decent playing experience.
Come on, son.
I'll show y'all really quickly my specs, or not my specs, but my settings that I use to achieve this. I estimate it's probably between 22 to 30 frames per second.
Because he sounds so boring, so uninteresting, nerdy at best. He sounds like an educated lame. Recording content off of a screen connected to whatever the hell he is using to produce this 2001 content. So enough of that trade wreck. I suspect many of these videos have been deleted from his channel. So now let's look 6 months from there. And let's see what's in store.
I'm black, and there's nothing I can do to change that. What I can do, however, is help you to change your methodology of thinking to understand why we as a people do what we do and feel how we feel. You see, we are actively being manipulated, divided, and conquered to play into specific roles that society deems appropriate for each of our races, religious beliefs, creeds, and genders. The world, it seems, is in chaos. Wars, rumors of
So dramatic.
wars and destruction seem to be prevalent in every section of society. Gone, it seems, are the days of cooperation between various sectors of humanity. Mankind is dividing themselves and concentrating on the differences between us, rather than focusing on the commonalities that we all share. The biggest mistake one makes is assuming this is why the world is in such turmoil. Everybody has their own version of the truth. But the way I see it, there's his story, her story, and the truth. So leave your ego at the door, come on over to the channel. Click the link. If you're ready to find out the honest truth, I'll be waiting for you. See you there.
I've seen better on Indiegogo. Now with a trailer like that, one would expect, one would surmise hold the line at all cost. One would surmise that this channel is some sort of media podcasting channel to expose the truth, to expose the inconvenient truth, to expose the lies of media narratives that are put forth to both men and women, to talk about things that are uncomfortable, to talk about things that are unfortunate, to discuss topics that most people would simply ignore. This is what he tells you, naming his channel The Honest Truth. But the truth is, like everyone else, he panders. He panders not for content related to what he said in his own trailer, but he panders to clout chase, to disparage the name of the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels,
Come on, son.
and the black manosphere as a whole. How unfortunate. You see, 2 months after that video, what do we see but a video about Jessica X? Next, another video about Jessica X and Kevin Samuels. Now about Kevin Samuels' high-value women. Now about black men and domestic violence. Now again about the manosphere. More videos about high-value men. More videos about Kevin Samuels. More videos about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels. Black manosphere. Kevin Samuels. Black manosphere. Kevin Samuels. Black manosphere.
Come on, son.
How unfortunate it is to be able to easily see the track record of a man who was on his path. But the almighty dollar called out to him deep from within the wall and grasped at his simp soul and pulled him into the clutches of clout chasing. Now stuck into the barrel in the rabbit hole of clout chasing, he can never leave. So he holds on and picks up a little bit of disparaging talking points that the black manosphere has fought against for many years. That Kevin Samuels himself, with his platform, fights against every single night. And we have a man called The Honest Truth, who has a video calling himself a proud simp, pandering to the very women, black men who have had issues, try to make amends, try to meet halfway down the road for decades. And he is proud to call himself a proud simp, always making sure he uses manosphere, always making sure he uses Kevin Samuels in the title. Even mentioning himself, we will take a break from Kevin Samuels' talk today. So let's play a video and let's listen in.
Him right now, right? Which is indicative of him being alone right now and lonely, but single right now. He's not speaking from a point that said, well, in my relationship, my girl's with me because I'm this. Into deep waters here, all right? We're gonna surf on the chaotic waves and thunderstorms, and we're gonna try and sail through this in today's stream.
Now, if I may, Sean says we have to hold the line to get Kevin Samuels to 1 million subscribers. Salute. Superb. Now, if you notice, Kevin Samuels doesn't do live streams reading off a script, but this man does. You see, this man does live streams reading off a script and still invites people onto his panels and still reads off of his script. How unfortunate it is. Let's continue.
One origin of the word has an extremely vulgar connotation to it. And you want to know where I got this definition?
Record label CDO.
Cockiness, his arrogance, his this, his that. Nobody likes a cocky person. Unless you got millions in the bank. You got millions in the bank, then a woman might put up with you for a little bit longer than she'll put up with another type of guy. She might. She just might. Life for You says, I made live. Nice. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Siamese Cat, we're going to go ahead and go with you, Siamese Cat, and then we'll go to, we're going in order. So Siamese Cat, the floor is yours. What do you think about the men who call me a simp? What do you think about that, Siamese?
They're trying to bite the hand that's trying to feed. And in that case, the hand is clearly yours.
Come on, son.
They tried to bite T-Pain's hand, and he's a musician. I am also an aspiring musician. I haven't sung in a while. Well,
Why
mostly
the fuck
depression
you
because of
lying?
this. That's what the pan-
Why you always
pandemic.
lying?
Sorry, I think they planned it, but that's a
Oh
story
my
for
God.
another day.
Stop fucking lying.
Yeah, it's just it's making all the good ones look bad.
Absolutely. I completely.
Several good ones.
Absolutely, Siamese. Yeah, it's. And Charles seems to be confused by what you're saying here. I'll explain to you, Charles. I'm trying to tell you how to make your life better. Okay, I'm trying to tell you that getting an education is good. I'm trying to tell you that making more money than $40,000 or $50,000 a year, which most men seem to be happy with, making more money is good.
How unfortunate it is for a man who is supposed to stand up and pee like all men chooses to sit down and regurgitate the mundane talking points of women. Women who berate, who attack, who have a disdain. Modern women who have a disdain for black men in general, black men especially. What you'll notice tonight is not only does the honest truth pander to black women, he also regurgitates their most vile talking points that are used against black men. He regurgitates these talking points proudly, without hesitation. A true grifter, if you have ever seen one on the internet. And as we go through these videos, I want you to keep in the back of your mind the intro that was played at the beginning, showing you a cinematic, epic, in-depth portrayal of the content that people could look forward to on his live streams. And after 6 months, all we have are clout-chasing grifter videos attacking the Godfather himself and the manosphere and the black manosphere as a whole by pandering to women, pandering to black women, repeating their tired talking points. How unfortunate.
I'm trying to tell you why it is in your interest to work as hard as you can as a man in socio-capitalistic America. All right. But men like yourself are going to call me a simp. So that's what she means. That's what she's trying to say. Network 44, good to see you on the panel, Network 44. I know you disagree with a lot of what I say. And so why am I, for trying to better black men, why am I a simp?
As you can see, the universe is telling him by rubbing his eyes and his forehead that all of this simp energy wears on his masculine spirit. He should be better off and better suited embracing his masculinity instead of pandering to black women like a simp for AdSense and measly donations. How unfortunate. Let's continue.
I don't necessarily think you're a simp per se,
Come on,
but I
son.
do think you have some simping tendencies. All right.
Okay.
And so, for example, one of the reasons why I'm actually decided to get on the panel is because you said something about manosphere having issues with stepfathers, right?
Mhm.
And what is in the interest of another man to raise another man's babies? All right.
Sure. I'll answer your
If
question really quickly.
a woman
Yeah,
is
the interest. Hold on. I'll answer your question. The interest in another man raising another man's babies is that you want there to be traditionalism inside of the black community. Hold on, to join the panel. Click that link to join the panel if you want to join the panel. You want there to be traditionalism. You want for all the single mothers that you claim are afflicting the black community to.
And if you notice something else, notice the people that talk about Kevin Samuels the most also tries to replicate his setup all the way down to lights, the chair, and the aesthetic. How unfortunate.
To just get married to men, right? But when a man decides to marry a single mother in the black community who already has children, you then demonize the exact same thing that you claim that you want. Does that not make sense?
It doesn't make sense because you got to understand.
No. So this is why I don't. This is why I never understand you Negroids most of the time. You claim that the black single mothers are the problem, but in the chance, like the lady that appeared on my.
He reeks of Tommy Soda Moisture energy, not being able to handle dissenting opinions, not being able to handle pushback, quick to interrupt, even quicker to filibuster. Let's continue.
My live stream, who gets married to a high six-figure earning dude, who becomes stable, who has a family, who gets taken off of the statistical single black motherhood market, you then have a problem with exactly what you wanted her to do in the first place. Now, this is where you're coming from. You're coming from the place that nobody should ever make a mistake, that humans should always be perfect, that every decision that you make, you're going to be held accountable for the rest of your life. As if children are an immediate example and a reminder of decisions that you might have made at a.
What does this have to do with the man taking care of children that are not his?
Certain point of time, right?
I'm sure
Children are that reminder.
I'm sure they're great.
I'm not done yet. And but
This is what pandering looks like in real time.
Even when the woman gets married, you then demonize her, and then you demonize the men that she marries. So you want women to not be single mothers, but when the single mother
Putting words in a gentleman's mouth, things that he did not say.
As a simp for marrying her, they can't win. What would you have her do? Do you want her to somehow get rid of the baby and then to unbecome a single mother? What is your solution in that case? Your solution is that she never had the baby in the first place. I know what you're getting ready to say, but I know that you as a person, Network 44,
But you never let the gentleman finish his statement. These are the tactics that are used by men who pander, men who clout chase, men who are grifters. For women and black women as a whole, these are the tactics that are used.
A lot of the favorite prominent black male role models, quote unquote, in the black community came from single mothers, right? It came from mothers
occupying majority of the talker's time to give them little time to answer and little time to respond so that he can go on to the next guest.
A lot of them. But if you could have it your way, you would want that mother to be single and alone for life, simply because that's your desire. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, Network 44. I know that's what you want, but it's not going to happen. So I've heard enough of that. Shabba Ranks, go ahead. Shabba Ranks, the floor is yours.
And as you can see, the moment dissenting opinions were presented to the floor, the sep energy grasped his throat and led the charge to filibuster, to interrupt, and to take over the majority of the speaker's time. not allowing him to establish a point, not even allowing him to respond. Gentlemen, these are the tactics of men who pander to women. These are the tactics of grifters. Take note and understand what you'll be facing when you join these people's platforms and think you're going to engage in debate and discourse.
Yours. Shabba Ranks. She got married, right? When you to find me right now, a black YouTuber who has more than 50,000 subscribers that specifically talks about investing, a black male that specifically talks about flipping houses, and only talks about this. I want you to find me one right now. If you can find me one, I'll be wrong in this case. Find me one black male YouTuber that specifically has more than 50,000 subscribers and he only talks about investing. I'll wait.
Oh my. Oh my. You see, gentlemen, salute. These are the tactics of men who pander. These are the tactics of men who grift. They ignore oblivious truth in order to support their need to pander, their need to grift, their need to clout chase. If you're a high-value man like myself, your content that you consume includes investment advice from men of all races in all nations, from Asian men to Jewish men, to black men to Spanish men. Information on investing, information on business, LLCs, real estate, stocks and bonds, and stock options. You see, when you're just a man looking to win, you find men of all calibers to seek information from. So if you are a quality man, you would understand that there are a plethora of men, especially black men, who offer the advice that you seek. But if you're a simp, but if you pander, but if you clout chase, but if you're a grifter, you're used as an opportunity to support your narrative.
Right? Every race of man has infrastructure. And when Negroids get money, what do Negroids go buy? Negroids go buy a gold grill.
Again, these are the talking points of not only black women, but if I'm not mistaken, white supremacy as well.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Understand what pandering and grifting looks and sounds like.
When black men get money, they don't seek to get married because money is so rare. There's so little infrastructure in the black community that when a black person or a black man does get money, they hoard that money to the best of their ability because they know that in the black community, to have money is the ultimate prize because there's no infrastructure that has laid itself out to making money easily in the black community. There's no infrastructure that laid itself out to making economic progress and future generational wealth in the black community. So they live it up when they get it. They live it up when they get it. They don't seek to build infrastructure because they don't even know what infrastructure is. All they do is become consumers and buying designer and then buying this, buying that. Not all, but most.
And the tactic that he used is a tactic that honestly black men use against black women. Not all, but most. But you see, the honest simp is being extremely, exceptionally disingenuous in the point that he is making. You see, high-value men and men of means all know and interact with men of means. Real estate brokers, investment firms, men of all creeds and calibers, existing in all areas of business and industry. When you're a man of means, it's not hard to find a man who's a CFO, a COO, a CEO, investment properties, hiring people, up and down the economic ladder, creating businesses, and giving people opportunities to take care of their families. These are the things black men do. Quality. Black men, men of means, high value men. You see, when you're a grifter, like the honest truth, you're a panderer, like the honest truth, when you're a cloud chaser, like the honest truth, you'll ignore all of these oblivious truths and only support one piece of information so that it can support your narrative and continue with your grifting and cloud chasing.
Right? I dare you to find me right now a black YouTuber who has more than 50,000 subscribers that specifically talks about investing. A black male that specifically talks about flipping houses and only talks about this. I want you to find me one right now. If you can find me one, I'll be wrong in this case. Find me one black male YouTuber that specifically has more than 50,000 subscribers and he only talks about investing. I'll wait.
We all know you're wrong. But you have so many grifters and so many people to pander to that you pray no one pays attention to the absolute foolishness that left your simple lips.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Imagine being a man, fixing your face to say that you, on a platform with millions of subscribers and content creators with billions of videos, you fix your face to say that there's no way someone can find a black man with 50,000 subscribers who talks about flipping houses.
Allahu Akbar!
Come on, son.
Allahu Akbar!
What are we talking about?
Blasphemy.
You see, the media told my cousin in 1970.
Salute to Primetime VA, Black Primetime VA. We all know there are black investment channels, black business channels, black channels for flipping houses, investing, cryptocurrency, stocks and bonds and stock options, all up and down the business spectrum. Sensible men know this. But men who pander, men who clout chase, men who grift to appease women, to appease black women, to appease simps like himself, will be oblivious to these obvious truths because it does not support his narrative. So of course, Primetime VA, there's plenty of black male channels that talk about business and investing. But that's a point that will never get made by the honest truth. Because his need, his desire to pander, to grift, to clout chase, supersedes any oblivious truths that you and I could ever come across. How unfortunate.
24 that if I was get the hell out of here. You niggas are lost. Asia Farmer, welcome to the panel. The floor is yours. Asia Farmer going once. Hey Asia.
Hey, I just want to say my phone is messing up. Can you hear me?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Go ahead.
You're freezing on my end.
I'm freezing. I might be freezing. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me see.
So I just want to say
We'll have to skip for it. It's becoming unbearable. Dudes in these spaces lie to black women just for views. Lie to black women just for donations. Lie to black women just for subscribers. Earn your leisure primetime VA. We could be here all night. Naming channels of black men teaching various aspects of business. But again, these channels would not support his narrative. Therefore, will never get mentioned.
What he does to create life is beyond what we'll ever be able to understand. Even as far as we've gotten in science and technology, we still can't understand how life is created. It's beyond us. And so what you have, what you are, and what you will soon represent, both a mother and a creator, is nothing short of magnificent. It's a scientific miracle.
What are we talking about?
Come on, man. You are beating yourself up.
Man.
This is what it sounds like when a black man is pandering to women, pandering to their maternal instinct, pandering to their maternal experience, pandering to motherhood. This is what it sounds like when a black man is selling his balls down the river just to appease black women.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
For views, for claps and emojis in the chat room. This is what it sounds like. This is what it looks like. How unfortunate.
That's the last I'll say about this. You're stressed out at the moment, so you can't really do much. You're in a vulnerable state. Just be kind to yourself, and know that we got your back.
So soft. So eloquent, so thoughtful. Oh. We understand your pain. Oh. We feel you. Oh. Imagine what you have gone through.
Back, Tasha. So I appreciate you once again.
We'll support you even if he won't.
Absolutely, Siamese, absolutely. Modex from the video game that I play. No, Modex, I don't play on this small laptop. Negroids go by. Men who are doing okay for themselves financially. It's partially true, right? So,
Now, for the new people in the chat room, once again, let me play the trailer for the channel. And let's look at the intro and then the content that has followed it. And maybe you can enlighten me.
I'm black, and there's nothing I can do to change that. What I can do, however, is help you to change your methodology of thinking to understand why we as a people
So cinematic,
and feel how we feel.
so dramatic.
Actively being manipulated, divided, and conquered to play into specific roles that society deems appropriate for each of our races, religious beliefs, creeds, and genders. The world, it seems, is in chaos. Wars, rumors of wars, and destruction seem to be prevalent in every section of society. Gone, it seems, are the days of cooperation.
Not sure what Kevin Samuels has to do with war.
Dividing themselves and concentrating on the differences between us, rather than focusing on the commonalities that we all share. The biggest mistake one makes is assuming this is why the world is in such turmoil. Everybody has their own version.
Not sure what the manosphere has to do with the world.
story, and the truth. So leave your ego at the door, come on over to the channel. Click the link. If you're ready to find out the honest truth, I'll be waiting for you. See you there.
So dramatic. So impactful. Now again. Once more. For the people in the back of the classroom. What part of the content we have seen for the past few months would lead to you thinking that this is what he had in store for you as a subscriber? The future of our daughters, another cinematic simp production. Let's look.
Night Talk, Episode 3, The Future of Our Daughters.
Oh, I do need a barf bag for this one.
I've often thought about how life will be for my future lineage. It is a worrisome query which I seem to have little answer for.
This is the look of a man who panders. Trying to look lost, deep lost in thought and concern. Thinking, what will I do? What will the future hold for my daughters? Who will select my daughter for marriage? Who will impregnate my daughter in its crazy, chaotic world? What will happen?
Life is, by default, a struggle. Even those who are born into a vast array of resources deal with their own struggles. More money, more power, more problems, so they say. But there is a larger problem. The growing epidemic of weak men who will bear continuous generations of weak men, and as it stands today, black men are the weakest men on the planet.
Imagine, if I may, being a black man and talking about the issues of black women in perspective of raising a black daughter, and what comes out of your mouth is a statement that black men are the weakest and most conquered men on the face of this earth. Simply put, if black men are the weakest and most conquered men on this earth, the honest simp, where does that place you?
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
You see, the definition of simping is not liking a woman, not giving a woman compliments. The definition of simping is putting a woman's needs and emotional stability above your own. And when you're a man pandering and catering to them to build a platform to generate income based on your need to pander, to grift, to clout chase because becoming a gamer failed and didn't work for you. You see, this is why you're a simp, not because you're pushing it back against men, not because you're disagreeing with Kevin Samuels, but because simply put, as a black man, the thought process and the words of saying black men are the most weakest and conquered species on the face of this earth spits in the face of your own existence. And this is truly what simping is, and this is truly what you're doing. But let's continue. How unfortunate.
Black men allowed themselves to let their families become conquered, sold into slavery, meanwhile failing to unify, and even in present day continue to uphold their traditions of failure, victimhood mindset, and underperformance in America.
Come on, man. What are we talking
The black boy is
about?
never at fault, but rather his mother's. The black man is never at fault, but rather the white man is. The pimps, hustlers, dope boys, felon convicted, illiterate, uneducated black man is never held accountable for their choice in lifestyle because, well, the system. Why is it that black men have never been able to prosper as other races have? Now, obviously, this isn't every single whose chances of meeting, interacting, and socializing
And this is 9 minutes long.
with black men of character dwindles by the hour. The clock is ticking. I want to show you an example of the future of some of our daughters, young girls and women alike, who will be desperate in their time of need, only to find that their counterparts of whom they are closely related turn their backs in their most desperate time of need. On are the times of Malcolm X and MLK and men of likewise ilk who fought so bravely.
You dare, with your chapped blue lipstick lips, with your $29.95 or 4 easy payments of $6.25 lava lamp you got from Home Shopping Network, and your $14 fintech mic you got from Amazon Prime on a lightning deal for $9.95. You dare. The blasphemy to utter the names of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. To think that a simp like you would be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with actual men while you sit on YouTube on your knees pandering and grifting to black women.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Centuries later, some still choose to stand beside their counterparts. But the clock is ticking. And
I mean, honestly, for dramatic effect, what are you looking at? What are you looking at that has you so bewildered, so confused, so concerned? What is the message that you want to convey to men who go outside and build, men who go outside and create, men who are productive, men who build things? What is the message that you are trying to convey to these men staring at your Acer 3000 laptop and your Amazon Janeway LED strip red colored room? What is the message you're trying to convey? The honest truth, I know you mean well. You just didn't think it through. You want to change the world, but you're scared of doing it standing up. So you'd rather change the world by getting on your knees, holding your hands out and pandering to black women and pandering to beta males, 'cause you finally found your lane, and your lane is grifting pandering to beta males, to simps, to women, and most especially black women. If you wish to watch 9 minutes of pure simping, please watch the video and support the content creators that I highlight on this channel. Now his most recent video is the conquered black male. Now gentlemen, I don't know about you, but that sounds awfully familiar to something that the bald eagle would say. Cynthia G on her platform every day and every night. Give me a hold the line in the chat room if you think the title of the conquered male is something that Cynthia G has talked about on her platform for the past 5 years. I'm very curious to know. Let's continue. EJ / facts. New World Order facts. I believe I'm correct. Let's listen to the first 10 seconds of his opening statement.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on air. I got to give a huge shout out to everybody that's already in the building waiting. The Panda Bear supporters are here. The Panda Bear supporters are here. I am here. It's so good to be back with you all tonight. We've got a very controversial message I'll be talking about tonight, but I want to give a huge shout out to the 15, looks like 20, a little bit more than that, people in the chat room waiting for us as soon as we begin. It's an honor to have you all here. We're going to deep dive into this very quickly and soon. First and foremost, I got to give you a couple shout outs to Toni Morrison for the clip that you're going to hear later on in this stream. White men, black men are last. Last in economics, last in education, last in everything. Right? In this very continent, Africa that we're going to talk about, which is mostly black, it has the highest amount of poverty per 1,000 people. All right? Not to mention that Africa is currently being taken over by China as they continue to invest, build, and incentivize the African people into supporting Chinese products and infrastructure. Let's go ahead and deep dive into the brutal, honest truth of the conquered black men. I can remember the first time.
Now, as you see, ignoring multiple data points, not applying any form of context, not all, but most. You see, when you're addressing Black American men today, we talk about their same amount of self-inflated pride that the black manosphere have, and how it drives their hatred towards everything and everyone other than the true cause of their miserable communities themselves. Now, does that sound like a black man speaking about himself?
Nope.
Does that sound like a black man speaking from a way in a perspective to change things for other black men through knowledge and information, data points and facts?
Nope.
Does that sound like a black man speaking from a point of understanding?
Nope.
The different issues
Nope.
that black men face?
Nope.
Domestically,
Nope.
internationally,
Nope.
and across the world?
Nope.
Simply put, if I removed the image on the screen and read that sentence to you, would that not sound like a white supremacist?
Nope.
Would that not sound like a man who is an enemy of black men?
Nope.
domestically,
Nope.
and abroad?
Nope.
Well, the answer is yes, it would. And you see, this is what people who pander do. This is what people who grift, this is what they do. Now, Africa is an easy target to pinpoint all of black men back to Africa. But if you knew your history, not all black men are from Africa. However, obviously, the honest truth is not honest in any truths at all. It is too disingenuous to even engage in that conversation with any real facts and understandings of history. But I digress. Let's continue and hear what the Sip has to say.
I heard about the slave trade in my history class. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade. Obviously, my parents had talked to me in the past.
Not all black men were slaves, but like I said before, we're not going there tonight.
Well, how? So explain how you're going to do this without the white man.
Oh my! Look what we have here. Two proponents of black men on YouTube, the Bald Eagle and Nada says herself, using their talking points. I can't make this up, gentlemen. I couldn't make this up even if I tried to make it up. Imagine. Just imagine being a black man pulling direct quotes from women who bash black men daily on their platforms. These simps never make it hard. They never make it difficult.
Yeah. And without black women. Without black women and without the white man, how are you going to build this?
We don't need black women.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. Is I feel like before we get to that point, black men gotta come together, stop killing each other, and point their guns to the real enemy.
And who's the real enemy?
And the white man.
The black woman. So y'all need to kill black women?
Yes, black women. The new black women of the old ways need to be sacrificed.
We need to be sacrificed. Okay.
The new black women all need to be sacrificed. You heard that correct. Once again, this is brought to us by Toni Morrison and Nyla Says on this channel. I'm going to rewind this in case you didn't hear, in case you're just not joining. This is a black man of the manosphere. This is the reason that we make these videos. This is the reason why I started making these videos and why we have the community that we have, is because of men like this. This is the reason why we were sold into slavery, is because of men like this.
I'm doing my best to not get into the history. But again, slavery is a confused piece of history. Once you do your due diligence, you'll find that there are black slave owners as well as white slaves. The slave trade was very diverse. What you learned in the roots is vastly different from how history has been portrayed. To use the narrative that these men are the reason why black people were sold into slavery, shows your limited understanding of history, or the negligence and ignorance that you portray to even do the research to understand the point that you're trying to make. You see, gentlemen, this is what pandering looks like. This is what grifting looks like. Ignoring information and only accepting data that supports your narrative and becoming totally oblivious to everything in between. How unfortunate that this comes from a black man himself.
As perpetrators of hatred, perpetrators of evilness, of malevolence against their own people, who seem to find every fault with black women instead of themselves, who led themselves into the madness that they're facing and experiencing right now. Let's rewind this. Not make this up. The Angolans and the other tribes in Africa were the ones that sold the Africans and the Angolan people to slave traders, which led them to having slaves, at least led to whites having slaves. The black men in the prison institution sold themselves in the same plantation that their ancestors were sold into by their own people. This is why I say that the black man is the newest face of white supremacy. They, by and large, conquer their communities with violence and crime, relegating themselves as their own oppressors.
Black men conquer communities with their own crimes and oppress the people. And the white politicians on Capitol Hill make the laws, rig the decision-making, section off funds and resources to these communities that exacerbates the predicament that leads to poverty, that leads to war in the streets. Not alleviating black men from accountability, but applying context to the point and the subject matter you're trying to portray to your audience. You see, to read those pieces of data and to portray it as the sole reason the black community and the urban communities are the way they are, but because of black men, is disingenuous and average at best. But gentlemen, again, this is what you have to expect. This is what you have to accept from simps, from black men who pander, from black men who grift, or lie to black women. This is what you have to understand. This is what you'll see day in, day out, pandering, being disingenuous, not applying context to any points that are being made, and only using the data and information that will only prove the point that you are making. Let's fast forward to when he actually has people on the panel. Oh yes, Arsenal God, a true soldier of the Defense Force, holds the line gracefully. Let's go back before he gets on.
He has it twisted in his mind that because black women understand and see that white men are willing to help them more than black men are, that makes them bed wenches, right? That makes them bed wenches.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck, 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 fuck.
They have no interest in rescuing their own, even though they might be enslaved in the same country, in the same area of them. They see no benefit to this. Own the slavery, just as they continue to betray their own race in modern days time, in ancient days past, they did the same thing. they're keeping up the traditions of what was past modern. I'm sorry, what was past white supremacy, right? Like I said, the white man didn't go to Africa murdering people left and right. All he did was bring resources and offer a business transaction, and that was enough for black men to sell their own people out.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck, 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 fuck you, fuck you.
Oh my. Let's rewind that back.
Regardless of not for a good. Like I said, the white man didn't go to Africa murdering people left and right. All he did was bring resources and offer a business transaction, and that was enough for black men to sell their own people out.
Now again, gentlemen, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the clip, not show you anything on screen. If you heard this the first time you came into this stream, would you not expect the visuals to match a white man that you would describe as a white supremacist?
Man didn't go to Africa murdering people left and right. All he did was bring resources and offer a business transaction, and that was enough for black men to sell their own people out. Regardless of not of whether they were separated by tribes and this and that, that's all fine and dandy. I get that. Maybe not everybody's the same. But at what point do black men start really recognizing that the main issue isn't with other races of men or black women?
Salute to Michael. You see, what you'll often notice is not only that there's a selection of black women, as there are a selection of black men. They often parrot white supremacist talking points to talk about the opposite sex in a disparaging manner. You see this with black men when they directly quote white supremacists. And then you see this with black women when they directly quote white supremacists. And what you saw just now was the honest truth, quoting, sounding just like a white supremacist. This is what pandering looks like. Let's fast forward through the nonsense.
Archaeologist.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Well, listen, Arsenal.
apparently, even now, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people relate relate to the the Cheddar, which is even weirder. So they did DNA and found that everybody has
Okay.
DNA that was born in the UK.
Oh, all right,
To the
Arsenal. Well,
original
listen,
Cheddar.
I appreciate that info. We're gonna put you on mute for a second. It's very, 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 very interesting, Arsenal. Always interesting to have Arsenal God on the channel. Arsenal, you have some fans here. You have a few fans here.
So condescending from dissenting opinions of a person that can actually speak and respond.
I heard what you said, and you waited until I was gone until you dust. But anyway, I'll save that for another time. But
Sure.
slavery, sorry, what was I going to say? In Scotland, yeah, you had black kings, yeah, and the first man in the UK was called a Cheddarman. Go research it, yeah, a Cheddarman, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
archaeologist, yeah, will tell you was blonde hair, yeah, blue eyed, black man. yeah. And like I said, you had kings, you had black kings of particularly of Scotland, yeah. And you in this in the UK you had lords, yeah. And we went over to. By the way, you were wrong on it, because when we set up America, yeah. The UK set America up, yeah. So
And what do we have here? Again, gentlemen, Mikhail, Simone, the line will be broken when I drop the new information. Salute the deadbeat dad. However, I actually do enjoy deadbeat dad. You see, the deadbeat dad is the prime reason as to why the Defense Force exists. People like him, and people like the honest truth. Normally, when they show up in the chat room, I'll give them a chopper ride. But I'll let deadbeat dad live. 'Cause unlike the honest truth, I don't silence dissenters. So deadbeat dad will live in the chat room on very thin ice. And deadbeat dad, after I'm done with the honest truth, your time has come for me to put you on the screen as well. And you will get your turn on the chopper ride.
Get to the chopper!
But we'll let you live for tonight. You see, the comment, we was kings. If you're not familiar with meme culture, the term we was kings is often used by white supremacists on forums like Reddit and 8chan and 4chan to mock the melanated man and woman with their understanding of history and science, of building the pyramids, building structures, building civilization. So in order to mock the black man and the black woman, they say the term we was kings in order to mock the black experience, the melanated experience. And you see, the honest truth is so caught in pandering, so caught in grifting, and being disingenuous, and not being knowledgeable on a topic that he chose to discuss. He can see a comment like we was kings from a quote-unquote black woman, and it could fly over his head without him ever addressing it. And this is the problem with grifters. Let's continue.
in other words, what they did was that they sent the criminals to the US and they gave the Arawak Indians. Sorry, they gave the.
The disdain of the women he's appealing to goes much deeper than hating dysfunctional black men. Understand what this is that you're witnessing. Understand the audience that he's cultivating on his platform. Understand the price he's willing to pay to cater and grift to black women.
The indigenous Indians guns and they killed each other off. Yeah, they show you that in movies anyway. They show you that in movies anyway. Yeah,
Right.
in the John Wayne movies. Yeah, they kind of do show you. Yeah, they gave it. Yeah, and then they had then over years they had the war and America won
and you see, salute to the Arsenal God. Bless his heart, but he is not the best speaker. However, he is speaking facts nonetheless. Salute, Sir Anthony. And the honest truth is being very condescending and demeaning, because he feels that he sits at an altar above all men, and he alone sits atop of the pillar to address men and look down upon men and tell them you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not saying what I want you to say, then everything you have to say is pointless and irrelevant.
The British went back, but it is Britain that set up America, because it was just the indigenous people that were there.
Okay. Well, Arsenal, that was very informative. Beijik wants to know, Arsenal, if you have a YouTube channel.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, Arsenal, if you ever get a channel, you come back and you let us know. Okay? So we were kings essentially, is at some point is what you're saying.
And imagine being a black man, once again repeating white supremacist talking points that were made to mock, mimic, and laugh at the melanated man and woman's experience in our past of building civilizations and teaching a certain group of people to be civilized in medicine, philosophy, and even food. We taught these people how to eat. We taught them how to cook. And when there's people who remember this history and have an understanding of this history and how it has been changed, they are mocked and mimicked and laughed at with the term, we was kings. And this comes all the way from white men, otherwise known as colonizers. So understand, when you see that big grin on his face, smiling, as he says, we was kings, understand that he showed his hand and showed that he doesn't have a grasp of the history or the knowledge in regards to what he is speaking on. And he is being intellectually disingenuous. So to serve Anthony, the Defense Force must remain vigilant at all times, absolutely.
Yes, in the UK, yeah. I
In the UK, we were
I can't talk about whether there were any in the USA, but if anybody comes to Scotland, you go visit their museum. They show that, whereas in England they kind of have that undertone. They kind of have that they have that racism where they don't show it. so much. But in Scotland, they show you there's pictures of black kings on thrones using white people as servants.
So what
And it
happened to the black kings, Arsenal? I'm curious. To the blue hair black. They were black, right? Blue hair, blonde.
No, yeah,
blonde hair.
that's for the Cheddarmen. The Cheddarmen.
Cheddarmen. Okay.
Yeah,
What
the Cheddarmen was the
what
first.
happened to them?
Yeah, 10,000 years. Yeah.
10,000 years. Okay.
Yeah. So he's the first known human being. Yeah. And
He's
this
the
is
first human being, okay.
And we were talking about how educated we were, and it just made me, that has stuck with me for so.
And take all the resources they had to build, to advance, to sail the world, to explore the world before other races did. Now, maybe that doesn't make a country or people wrong in that sense, because hey, if you want to live in simplicity, that's all cool. If you want to live in certain environments and areas, I'm all for it. I understand cultures are different. However, like we talked about earlier in this video, we're talking about a group of people that have for millennia sold off their own people for money by and large, and still to this day enact the same type of activities that our past ancestors did. Right? I'm talking about black men of modern day antagonizing the black community. I'm talking about the black Negroids who come onto my page to send me death threats and things of that nature. Black men have a sophisticated, no, it's not even sophisticated. Black men have a fixation on removing themselves for some reason off of the face of the earth. Like, no other race really, except for like North Korea, rather, no other race really has this fixation of removing their own people off of the planet.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck, 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 fuck,
you don't hear any other race of people that sell their own people into slavery. Now, yeah, you might hear about China and their labor camps.
Try, because I know you did one on it.
And I really like the way that those turned out. So everybody who stuck with me, who offered the support, divested and dust free, says check the PayPal. I surely will divest and dust free. Thank you so much for the name. Y'all, these names are hilarious, man. I appreciate that donation. Thank you so much, divested and dust free. I see it there with the awesome donation. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much to everybody that contributed to tonight's live stream. I will see you all in a couple days, 2 days. I'll have the next live on our side. She says, black men today have no excuses. Deny.
How unfortunate.
Forgive my insulting you. I'm sorry. I thought that you were a guy trying to bring up the fact that Black Wall Street. Yes. No, it's so true. There are no excuses today. Listen.
Let's take that back a little bit.
Let's read a couple more comments here. Okay, says he didn't do marriage either. Yeah, no, he did. Failed 2 times. Failed 2 times. Oh, here we go. We got Black Wall Street in the building again. I forgot. It's not a truth stream without Black Wall Street being mentioned. Thank you, Deny, for Black Wall Street. Oh, I'm sorry. Deny's on our side. She says black men today have no excuses.
It's not a man that wrote that, but a female. Let me back it up just a little bit. The force of pandering is strong with that one. Absolutely. That's not a black man in the chat room, that's a black woman. Let me back the truck up just a little bit.
Get to the chopper!
And I insult that person because that is a female in the chat room, and I need the gynocracy. So let me back it up and not offend the woman. Wealthy black men pulled their resources together to create Black Wall Street just 55 years after slavery. Black men today have no excuse. The simps never make it hard. They never make it complicated. They never make it the last 10 minutes of a Martin Scorsese film. They never make it the plot of a Nolan movie. They never make it difficult or complicated or intricate to spot them and understand their motives. It's never a hard task to truly spot and understand a simp. They're very easy to see, especially one such as this that panders the way he panders to black women.
Too.
So I mean, that's a great point right there. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. And listen, I got to give you a huge shout out once again.
It's just very telling about the lack of accountability there. It's really
follow their lead when they haven't led that well to begin with. But in
now, I am growing very tired. The pandering to fill the void left by Mr. Jackson, absolutely. And I will say this. The simping and the complete disingenuousness of what he does wears on the high value spirit, and it is exhausting to consume this level of simping and still maintain a masculine frame. So I will have to begin to hack it up. But for the people that are watching, I want to play this one more time. Now keep in mind all of the content we have consumed from his channel tonight, and watch this trailer that predates all of the content after it. Before it, if I may. And when you watch this trailer, keep in mind this man does videos about nothing else but the Black Manosphere and Kevin Samuels and black men. Now let's watch this 1-minute trailer of his channel.
I'm black, and there's nothing I can do to change that. What I can do, however, is help you to change your methodology of thinking to understand why we as a people do what we do and feel how we feel. You see, we are actively being manipulated, divided, and conquered to play into specific roles that society deems appropriate for each of our races, religious beliefs, creeds, and genders. The world, it seems, is in chaos. Wars, rumors of wars, and destruction seem to be prevalent in every section of society. Gone, it seems, are the days of cooperation between various sectors of humanity. Mankind is dividing themselves and concentrating on the differences between us, rather than focusing on the commonalities that we all share. The biggest mistake one makes is assuming this is why the world is in such turmoil. Everybody has their own version of the truth. But the way I see it, there's his story, her story, and the truth. So leave your ego at the door, come on over to the channel. Click the link. If you're ready to find out the honest truth, I'll be waiting for you. See you there.
Hey gentlemen, let's play the earliest video you can find on this channel. And this video predates the intro to that dramatic, epic trailer of the truth. Let's play this video and see where he began.
Me running Halo on my i3 1.9 gigahertz HD 3000 graphics card. Forgive the poor video quality, but I am playing online, and I did want to show y'all, gosh dang it, that it is possible to play and actually have a decent playing experience. I'll show y'all really quickly my specs, or not my specs, but you know, my settings that I use to achieve this. I estimate it's probably between 22 to 30 frames per second. Sometimes, depending on the level, you can get up to 35 frames per second. But my cell phone's not going to show you the best quality either. Sorry, I'm pretty trash. But you can at least see that the game is somewhat runnable. And you can have a decent playing experience, at least even on the i3 with 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 1.9 gigahertz processor. So once again, I will show y'all. I thought I got him. I will show y'all.
And gentlemen, this is the story of a grifter. This is the story of a man who didn't know what he wanted to do until he found a lane to grifting. This is the story of a man who didn't know what he wanted to do until he found a lane to pander in. This is a man who didn't know what he wanted to do until he found the best way to be the most disingenuous in his YouTube journey. This is what the journey of a man who panders to black women, this is what it looks like. It's doing videos on a Walmart computer talking about Halo, doing an intro as if your channel's going to be a groundbreaking introductory to the truth of the world and social, geopolitical, and economical politics on a grand scale and the truth of these things. To fall solo, to simply do response and reaction videos talking about Kevin Samuels and the Black Manosphere. So pathetic and so unfortunate. And this is the life story of many other people who are pandering to black women, pandering to women, being intellectually disingenuous, not using context for anything that's being discussed or any points that they choose to make online, only to ride the train of hate and discuss, to attack black men, and especially Kevin Samuels, not with proper truth, with proper context, or with proper research, but with half truth, little context, and half the research required to be able to speak on these topics with some intelligence and authority. How unfortunate it is that this channel is ran by a black man. But alas, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The line shall be held. The defense force will reign supreme. Where we go one, we go all. Salute to the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels. Before we go, we have to check in with our friend the Angry Man to see what he's crying about tonight.
Then why, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. You said if you're a man of integrity, then you speak truthfully, and you're not supposed to make statements that's not true. So if I'm not the color black, I'm not supposed to be saying that I'm black, right?
Well, do you think you should?
No, I'm asking you.
I already said I don't identify you as black.
Okay, then. So here's the question I gotta ask you. You keep calling me brother. Are you actually my brother?
Well, I call you brother instead of black.
But you're not my brother. We're not blood related. So why would you call me brother?
Because I suggested to identify each other as that instead of actually the word black.
So then what's the difference? How do you get to no, we were not. We're not related. How do you get to stretch the truth to suit your needs? Butterfly in the sky. One else can? That doesn't make sense. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
In scriptures, if you believe in scriptures or not, I don't know, right?
Okay.
But they said that we was all created as God's children, as brothers and sisters deriving from Adam, right? Okay. You know what? I'd rather watch frozen molasses defrost on a stove than listen to the angry man have a senseless, pointless debate and conversation about nothing. My attention span has been drained. My patience has waned from having to listen to the honest simp for over an hour and a half. So there's not much else more I can take. I am still but a man, a high-value man, but a man nonetheless. Salute to the Defense Force. Salute to Kevin Samuels. Where we go one, we go all. Salute to the Defense Force.
Holding the line in chat rooms and comment sections. Everywhere we go, Defense Force.